It's gonna work out, fellas. It's gonna work out. We got a great day ahead of us. I'm gonna get the treads done for the stairs. We're gonna get the fascia detail done and all the decking installed on the deck. Today's a big day. If we can get ourselves to that point today, by the end of the day, have all that done, tomorrow we come back and we finish out the rails and finish out the week strong. So that's what our goal was at the very beginning of this week, is to get this job done in 5 days. And I really think that we're on track to do that. Hopefully, right?
Yeah, buddy.
I think we can do it. To maximize the amount of treads I can get out of one board, we have made sure that our treads are 48 inches wide, not anything greater. You tend to have a lot more waste if you go over 48 inches. All right, I've got all my front treads cut out, and now I'm gonna be cutting the sides. So it looks like we got 11 and an 8, which is exactly what we needed. This is gonna be the total length of the tread. Now, this is 11 and an 8, so I'm gonna have a deck board that is the picture frame, and then we're gonna have a center deck board. Now, if I had a lot of stair treads, I would probably make a jig where, you know, it would just kind of bump up. It's like a bump jig, but I think I need it here. It's not a lot of treads. So this is what we want per tread. We want 190 going this way and 190 going this way. Okay, so we got to make 5 more of these. So I got all my corners cut. Let's go ahead and get them assembled. So this is the jig that I'm using. It's by Craig. It's pretty much good for any kind of thickness of wood. I think it's up 1/2 inch up to 1.5 inch. So for you guys looking to keep those miters nice and tight, this is the one that you want to get. Keeping this thing perfect while I'm sending in my pocket screws is gonna be a challenge of its own. So I'm gonna glue these things first, because they'd be glued, that they're not gonna want to move while I'm sending that screw in. So this is the CA glue I'm using. You can pick them up at I think Lowe's or any kind of like Rockler, or if you got Clean Spore in your area, any kind of carpentry place. You can even order it on Amazon, but definitely good to have in your trailer if you're outdoor living construction builder. I tell you what, I've built these things before in the past. I've tried to just build them on the treads themselves, and you know, it's a nightmare. There's too many missing, or too many moving pieces. It's just very difficult to get everything lined up properly. And by doing this, you know, it's a few extra steps, but it sure does seem like it moves a lot faster. You see me do my first 3, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest done and finish getting the treads installed. I ordered a V-groove 2-inch diameter 90-degree router bit, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it's kind of slowing us down from getting our corner details for our fascia. So what I decided to do is try to get this thing done with a 45-degree bevel on the table saw. And I was actually able to get something like this done. I'm gonna attempt to try to get this bent and see what happens, but this will be my first attempt at it. So let's give it a shot. I got my heat gun, and I'm just gonna apply some heat to this and see if we can get this thing to bend. All right, so I think I went a little far with my cut, maybe a little too deep, because I'm starting to see some cracking. I don't know if that's because I'm overheating it, but with the exception of a few minor splits, I managed to be able to get it. I'm gonna try it again and see if I can get this bend without it breaking. I think maybe one of two things, or maybe even both things. Maybe I applied too much heat, and maybe I went a little too deep. So I'm gonna give it another go and see what I can come up with. All right, guys, just cut my second try, and we're gonna see if this works. And there it is, folks. That's this corner detail everyone's wanting to do online. Piece of cake, honestly. This is my second attempt. You didn't even need the V-groove bit. You don't need the jig. Honestly, if you just set your depth right on your table saw at a 45-degree bevel cut, use your tape measure to make sure where that peak of that bevel cut's gonna end up. I would say give yourself about maybe an 1/8 or less of meat here on the top, and just heat it up and let it do its thing nice and slowly. Apply a little bit of pressure, and then once you get it to bend, put some CA glue in there, and then it'll stay. That's nice. Corner piece is up. My tread is gonna butt right up to it. I gotta notch my tread, and then boom, we'll start butting all of our fascia boards in place. It's gonna work out, fellas. It's gonna work out. That's how you do it, folks. You want to scribe that line, because if your stringers aren't 100% plumb, which sometimes, you know, they are, sometimes they aren't, you're gonna see that. So we scribe that cut. we've got the corner board here just installed. I've got a deck board, one single deck board to be installed on the top here, and one single deck board to be installed on the bottom. Now this single deck board is going to be almost 20 foot long, which is exactly why we do this. So you don't have 12 foot long sections, multiple pieces on one face. We hate joints, right?
Speak for yourself.
So let's get these two pieces of fascia board up on this side, and then we'll finish up with that side, and then we should be good for the day to clean up and go home.